Do you have a dream list? Something that you'd like to do or accomplish, or something you want to have in your life? If so, I have a warning for you. Attempt these dreams as soon as you can, because once you do, you might realize it's either not what you actually wanted, or it's just not going to work for you right now, or simply it's just not all it was cracked up to be. Let me give you an example. My hubby and I, we've always wanted a drone, like for so long, way before we even met each other. Once you watch enough Yona Yinton videos, it's like, I wanted a drone. Wanted to get some beautiful, beautiful aerial shots of nature, And then last year, we actually decided, okay, you know what? Let's just get the drone. Let's just get it. We want it. Let's do it. We have the money. Let's get it. And we did. And we were so freaking excited. It was really awesome at first. And then we were like, let's go try to fly it. And then we realized, oh, wait a second. We have to figure out where we can fly it. And then we realized there are so many laws, so much legal everything, that it was nearly impossible to fly our drone. I think the closest place we could fly it was 40 minutes away. So what happened is we barely used it. It was such a hassle, such an ordeal to actually get out there and use the drone that I think in this whole year, we've used it 3, maybe 4 times. Now, it was very, very tempting to just be like kicking ourselves and regret this and say, that was such a mistake to buy the drone. $800. And what do we have to show for it? We barely use this thing. And while it is easy to kick ourselves about it sometimes, we did come to the realization that no, we do not need to regret this decision. Why? Because we had a dream, we pursued it, we made it happen, and then we learned valuable information from it. Now, granted, had we done better preliminary research, we might have avoided this problem in the first place. But that's not the point. The point is, it took us pursuing our dream to find out that it wasn't going to work for us right now where we currently live in this time in our life. And that's okay. Had we not done so, we would have just continued pining after this dream of getting a drone. And then thinking, hoping, planning that someday we'll make it happen. We'll get the drone. And if that day ever would have come, our disappointment would have been massive, you know what I mean? And I'm sure we would have looked back and been like, oh my gosh, I wish we would have just bought the drone a long time ago and then we could have moved on with our lives, So you picking up what I'm laying down here? Do you have anything like this in your life? I find that the most common one, here in America at least, is the dream of retirement, the retirement dream. I'm sure you've encountered so many people, maybe you're one of them, where it's like all that's keeping you going is dreaming of that retirement though. And that's how people justify enslaving themselves to the rat race. Because they have this vision of retirement in the future. I can do it. I have this dream of retirement, just 20 more years, just 10 more years, 6 more years, until finally the day comes when they can retire. And then maybe after a month or 2, they realize they're sick of it. They actually don't like retirement. They are bored, they get lonely, and then they start getting desperate and really needy on like their children or just whoever happens to be in their life, and it's not very good. It's not a good situation. And so it's just always so sad when something like this happens and you save your dream for the end of your life, and then it might not be all you thought it was going to be. It's really heartbreaking when that happens. Or like, there's a similar one down this same vein. You get these people who are dreaming of their retirement, and what are they going to do when they retire? They're getting an RV, and they're going to RV all around the country. this is hard because it's like, do you realize that mobile living is freaking exhausting? Like, did you know it's super hard, even with a fancy RV? I don't think many people realize this. And then you got these old people who are saving this kind of crazy adventure time for the worst part of their lives, like the worst compatible part. They're saving it for when they can't hardly move and they have bad health, And I feel like some of these people, when they do this, they have this false expectation and realize, I should have done this during my younger years, back when I had a good immune system, back when my bones didn't break so easily, back when I could get under the car to fix something. Yeah, if you have that kind of dream, especially if it comes to RV or van life or something, I would highly recommend doing that ASAP instead of saving it, because it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of nastiness. And if you're not prepared for that, it's going to be quite a shock. It's hard. We stayed at an RV park and we stayed there for a couple months while we were working. And we made friends with this old couple, and they had it all, man. They had a home that had, the man had this awesome garage with so many amazing tools, all organized amazingly, and they decided to sell it all and buy an RV, and now they're RVing around. And it was a little painful to see. It's like, dude, isn't what old people want most safety and comfort when they're at that kind of age? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm definitely right on the comfort. Older people want, I'd say deserve comfort at that time in their lives. And to go and do RV life, or some are even doing van life or something, I think that's a little crazy. They can do what they want, but it's hard on them. We were watching the one, he's clearly in pain, struggling around, having really bad knees, and trying to do maintenance on his RV, and it's just ooh, ow, ee. Wouldn't this have been better had you done this 20s, 30s, even 40s, 50s, anytime? But now, it's just really sad to see sometimes. I was fortunate enough to be able to experiment with van life in my late 20s, and it was super hard. It really was. And, there were a lot of bad times, but I also absolutely loved it. And then after a while, my husband and I were like, hey, let's try apartment life, since that seems like everybody wanted us to do that, which isn't a great reason to do things, but sometimes it's like, sheesh, get off my back, fine, we'll live normal life. But we're like, maybe it is good, maybe apartment life is where it's at. I know, but we're like, we don't know, maybe we'll actually like it. Maybe the ease of life, the ease of having a shower, having so many amenities, maybe that'll be so nice for us and we'll love it. Here we are. This is our third year now doing it, and we hate it. Do I regret all what that has happened? No, I do not, because we've gotten to test both waters, We got a taste of van life. We got a taste of normal life. And through this, we've gathered enough information to be able to actually see what we're truly interested in. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. Each people are different, For us, this is not working, but we had to do this in order to truly know, or else maybe we'd always be wondering, what would it be like to just have an easy life in an apartment? And now we don't have to wonder. We know that we hate it, and that's a wonderful thing. It's good to know what you don't want. To have that kind of information is so valuable. It is so valuable. What's a dream you have for your life? And what's holding you back from trying it? I would just encourage you to try your dreams sooner than later, because it doesn't matter whether you do like it or you dislike it. What matters is you're gathering information and you have that data now to know that if you either need to move on with your life or to know that you can really deep dive into this because you just love it. It's a win-win. It doesn't matter if you find out that you actually hate this dream that was in your head. It's okay. What is so powerful about this is this, even though these were my thoughts already, and I was writing notes down for this video, I had a moment of clarity when I wrote that last paragraph, because in the last 2 weeks in my life right now, I've been tortured with a decision that I need to make. And I've been torn between option 1 and option 2, and I did not know. I've not known what to do. It's been a really hard decision on my mind, and it's caused me a lot of anxiety. And then I wrote this last paragraph here, and I realized, but boom, clarity. I realized if I don't do this one thing, there's this one thing that I've always held in my mind, like, oh, this is the pinnacle, this is going to be so good, like, I need to try to be able to do this. And if I don't do this opportunity now, I know I will always regret it, and I'll always wonder in my head, oh, what if I had done that? And what if it would have been amazing? Now, I think there's a good chance if I do this option, there's a really good chance it could be a disaster. But I think that's okay, because that's going to give me information, and then I can move on from this dream I've made up in my mind, and even though it's a hard decision, like this clarity I just had with making this video, it gave me so much relief, because it's like, one way or another, I will know, and then I can just move on with my life. And I think that's just so valuable. It just really helped me. Like, it helped me so much, and I really want this to help you as well. If you have a dream, go for it. It might not be all it's cracked up to be, but at least you'll be able to move on with your life.